have no plan here.
I have a plan if you don't, so don't worry.
Oh, good. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Little Brother podcast. First ever episode. We used to record a podcast all gathered in the same place. Now look at us. Banished to our respective lairs.
Yeah, feels like 5 years ago.
I'm back in my 2014 home studio where it all began 10 years ago. Lindsey's back in the nursing home. Brett, are you on a treadmill? Are you on one of those walking things?
I'm standing.
You're standing?
Oh, you have the walking?
Shit, should I stand?
It's too
Yeah,
late.
we're way too comfortable. I feel like you and I, Lindsey. I'm comfortable
standing.
and you're.
Here we go.
You're giving
I don't
a
have that.
Jarl of Whiterun. You know, you just slouch in your little throne there. It's all good. So what is the point of a podcast? Well, eventually, you take little ad reads and you put them in the podcast and you go, oh my god, Me Undies. Oh my god, Hello Fresh. Pander. But also, from an entertainment point of view, I thought it might be nice to have a space to talk about our trips, talk about things, you know. It's not necessarily the topical podcast so much as us talking about places we've been. And for this first one, I definitely wanted to talk to you two about getting this channel started and what it was like from your perspectives. I did a video for my channel where I kind of just walked, my path through it, but I think it'd be good to hear it from your own words about joining up with Little Brother. Wow. And you are the little brother. You.
That's right, Lindsey.
Alex.
Oh. Yeah, that makes sense.
Little
You
brother.
already had your video up, you said?
Well, by the time this is...
By the time this is up?
Well, yeah, by the time this is airing, we've got 3 episodes out.
The channel is burned, crashed and burned. It's a
Yeah.
massive failure. And
We don't
this
even
will
know
never air.
how
So
it's
by this
done.
point, somebody canceled, one of us for something during the video.
Well, just to set this up, Brett, how long had you sort of been planning this idea?
I think it was at least a year, because it was at least a year of talking to Aleks on Colorado trips. It was at least, like, the first time I brought it up to Aleks, I think, officially, was some point in 2024, summer of 2024. And I've been thinking about it for easily 6 months to a year before then.
Yeah.
Of just being like, okay, if there was ever another thing, what would we want to do? What would be a good, different avenue of, like, what the channel's content would be, right? So I was like, okay, travel. At the time, certainly in 2024, it was just like, okay, if it's called Little Brother, it's about me and Aleks traveling, whatever. And that was it, right? There was nobody else involved. I hadn't really thought it through. It was just like, is Aleks even interested in ever being on a channel with me? So, but at least a year and a half before conversation really got serious.
I mean, we were on a channel before together.
That's why I said again.
All of us, all 3 of us.
I mean, all 3 of us.
That's
yeah.
crazy.
If
When you
you-
really think about it.
If you are watching this podcast and you've never even heard the words cow chop before in your life, congratulations. You are blessed, or you're 13. Number one thing people come up to me and Aleks and go is, oh my god, I loved cow chop when I was a teenager. Oh my god, I grew up with you guys. And I'm like, bro, it was like 5 years ago. You grew up?
That does happen. It's probably one of the worst things I don't want people to feel bad, but it is one
No,
of the
they
most
shouldn't feel bad.
Yeah.
shocking things to hear is
Yeah,
oh my
yeah.
god, I used to watch you when I was basically a preteen, and now I'm older, I have a family and a house. And I
He
go,
said, my
wow.
nanny used to put you on when I would be in my quib.
Yeah, that's basically the energy, and I'm just like, oh, it's awesome, man. But internally, it's like a gut punch. Like I'm like a tear comes down my a face a little bit. I went to Gamestop and I sat in line waiting to get some Pokemon cards, and at checkout I didn't get any, but the guy that was working the GameStop employee was like, "Oh my god!" And keep in mind, I'm sitting here now after I just realized I've stood in line for 45 minutes and wasting my time. He goes, "Oh my god, I recognize you." He's like, "I know who you are. You're Aleks." And this is in front of these other people that were also just as disappointed, but now they think that like I'm somebody. But really, I'm like this guy's Steve from Blue's Clues, right? Like growing up watching Aleks, and then I'm sitting there like, that's me, man. And he's like, can I get a picture and all this stuff? I'm like, of course. I'm sitting there like an idiot, posing with a thumbs up in GameStop. Just this guy's like, I used to watch you all the time, man. What happened?
He's asking you what happened.
What happened?
He didn't say what happened, but in my mind, it's like the follow up was like,
That is,
the
yeah.
devil on my shoulder. It's like, what happened to you, man? Look at you now. You're in a GameStop line for Pokemon cards. But yeah, your timeline for when we talked about it sounds about right. It was a couple trips I think you did out to talk about the project and such, right?
Sorry, I'm still thinking about GameStop. So you didn't get anything out of that interaction? He didn't give you the secret box hidden under.
No,
the
he didn't.
counter?
He wasn't even
No
like, bro.
discount?
Next time I'll hook you up. You know, they didn't even do that
Wow.
to me. So it was really a disappointing effort overall. So my dyslexia has gotten worse over the years too.
That's okay.
So you guys get a lot of like cow chop, which I don't really get that much anymore because I did 4 years at Funhouse, so I get the Funhouse. Like, oh, you were at Funhouse, and when somebody does bring up cow chop, I'm like, oh wow. So that's my reaction. I'm like, oh yeah.
Is it like PTSD for you though? Like, I don't
What's
like
that?
associated with that. Is it like PTSD where you're like, I don't like being associated with that?
It's always
word?
like, oh, you were Funhouse, I loved it. I'm like, yeah. They're like in cow chop. I'm like,
Oh,
You go, ooh.
Jesus
They
Christ.
said the
kidding,
C
guys.
word.
yeah, the C word.
Sorry, I'm looking over my right shoulder at the cow chop poster.
Yeah.
I have that one in my bathroom actually.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like over my bathtub.
Oh.
Yeah, a little fancy, but
Yeah.
I like that poster. That was a good poster.
Yeah,
Get some good merch. We had some good times, brother. You know, but good times come to an end. So here we are.
anyways, yeah, you had been planning this for over 2 years. I remember over a year ago when Funhouse was ending, and I was like, I didn't know what I'm gonna do next. And you're like, I kind of want to do this thing. I have this idea, and I had already been thinking I wanted to travel. I remember in 2019 when we announced that Cow Chop was ending. Before I moved like over to Funhouse, I was like, should I just get in my little beat up car and drive across the country and stream it? And I almost did that, but Elise was like, that's so stupid. You're gonna die. No, I just ended up, moving over there, but it was something I wanted to do too. So yeah,
So in a way, I stole your idea, kind of. You could say.
maybe it was like the unspoken inspiration, but you've always been a traveler, right? So
Yeah. My machinima days, I was a little world traveler. Oh.
I was thinking about that too. I think yesterday, about our I met Lindsey through you, Brett.
Do you guys remember when you met?
actually, I met Aleks before I started working with you at Cow Chop. I met you at a PAX once. I have pictures of you on my camera because I have a bunch of pictures of like the streamers that I was hanging out with, and you were there.
That sounds about right. I feel like I met you before,
But it was just
like you just
very-
showed up one day
Yeah, briefly.
Just show.
at the warehouse. Yeah, I we definitely met before that, but like with Brett, I feel like we met. I don't know how canonically. People probably know like us.
I know, it's so hard to
like-
set like a threshold of what people are aware of or
Yeah,
care about.
I guess for the context of like it's
Yeah.
2012 probably was around the time I think when you were hitting me up for some machinima shoots and stuff like that. That's probably when I met you, I think, originally.
I met Lindsey at Machinima.
Mm-hmm.
Probably maybe slightly just before that.
Yeah,
Like 2011, fall of 2011.
2009, fall of 2009, my friend.
I don't think I was there.
No,
Aren't
it
you
wasn't
were-
at
Machinima-
Machinima.
you were
We ran in the same friend groups. We had mutual friends, and we hung out at.
Oh.
There was this little taco cantina on Sunset Boulevard, and I remember it. This is why I remember it, because I was like, "This guy
God.
looks like the fucking guy from Flight of the Conchords." That's what I remembered.
All right. So, anyways, let's talk about Vegas. Well,
Well,
that's
do you want
crazy,
to
though.
talk about the short film first?
Okay, well, yeah, I mean, that was more of just a joke
Move
escape
on.
from the conversation. But I've known both of you a long time. Lindsey, just to, like, quickly finish the story, you were leaving the whole city of Los Angeles, right?
Yeah.
You're off somewhere else now. And before you left, I was like, okay, what if someone other than me who actually, I mean, I can edit as you're watching this podcast. I can take a clip and put it next to a clip. Is this can you hear the leaf blower?
Nope.
Okay,
No.
great. But let's get someone in here who, our post supervisor of Cow Chop. Wow, what a pull that would be. And I think maybe also you weren't quite sure what the future held, right?
Yeah, I mean, I knew, like, I was moving. This was January of this year, and I was sort of just doing freelance and gonna stream, and I was, like, looking for more serious, like, full-time positions, too, because I was the channel manager at Funhouse. So I had a lot of different things that I did, and I knew I could do a lot of different, like, parts of running a YouTube channel and helping in any way that I could. So when you brought it up, I was like, all I want to do is travel. And I do still enjoy editing videos and being part of, like, the space where you get to develop the communities on YouTube and all that stuff. So I was like, I kind of fuck with that idea.
Nice.
Yeah.
Can you hear the leaf blower now?
No.
No.
Just keep asking about it. I got a leaf blower blasting outside my 1-bedroom apartment, and then I got fruit flies because I put an apple in the trash can. Classic human error, putting a piece of fruit in a trash can with a closed lid, because the eggs are already there. Every time you buy a banana, it's already covered in eggs.
Yeah.
They don't come into your house. They're calling from inside the house.
I knew we're sticking to the subject matter.
I know that was a softball pitch for you to talk about.
I know, but I'm like, every time we're doing a lot of softball pitches where we deviate into like just some fucking random topic where anyone that has ADHD listening to this, I apologize.
Maybe it's better for them. They're like, oh, fruit flies?
Like, oh yeah, no,
Lindsey?
listening about Lindsay's history of how she is working here now and what she did for the past, a few years, I guess, since leaving California, and now we're gonna listen to Aleks talk about fruit flies. Like, this is kind of is that the vibe? I can see Lindsay's face too, like it's also just not happy, which I'm sorry about that too, Lindsay. I'm sorry.
So, Brett, I want to ask you about the short film that you wrote. How long?
Oh, we're not talking about fruit flies.
How long ago did you write the script?
The live action promo was like, I would say it was like one of the earlier bits when I was thinking about this, right? One of the funnest parts about Cow Chop, even though I didn't participate in the creative of Cow Chop getting started, right? Like, by then it was like Aleks and James, they came to me together, right? And I still have... Is this the right binder?
What does he have? He's
You got
looking
the
for
binders?
something. For audio listeners, he's looking for something. Oh,
There it is.
I grabbed the wrong... This is not the right binder. This is a Lindsey binder. Oh, no,
Okay.
No, this is the right binder.
Is it?
why do you
Cow
have a
Chop.
Lindsey binder?
Cow Chop content slate.
Oh,
Remember
wow.
this?
Yeah,
And this
I
is-
made those before the channel launch, and I had given them to like the people that were working on it.
And these are pretty... This is pretty dense. It's like Amazon show, Shovel Knight episode 2, week 2, day 5, week 1 shirt campaign launch for being a part... I mean, this is like...
Good job,
This is
Alex.
It was
way
pretty
more
fleshed
than
out. Yeah, I mean, I spent many months trying to put everything together.
Wow.
schedules.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty hardcore. I don't remember what brought that flight of fancy upon me.
No, that's
but-
good. That's good because
oh.
I was thinking about that too when you said when you mentioned it. I was like, oh, I wonder if I still have that, but I probably have to dig up. But yeah, it's cool that you have that.
I guess I was there for some of it. Like, we didn't really now that I'm thinking about it, we really didn't have a logo. We had like James's placeholder logo, and then John Reisinger over at Rooster Teeth helped iterate on that or whatever. But all of that to say, like, coming up with like the brand and the tone and like what it's going to be like. And I was really on this like kick where I was like, I think it'd be fun to have like medieval theming. And then I was like, well, people like the live action stuff from Cow Chop. So why wouldn't we open it with like one of those? And then it's like kind of medieval themed, and we're being killed because we're irrelevant. So it was just like all tied in of like, okay, what's like at least like a reasonably funny kickoff to whatever it is we're doing. So yeah, that had been floating around for a while, but I didn't actually like sit down and write it pretty much until like a month or whatever. But whenever I was like talking to you, right, and things started getting serious. So
We shot it in LA and we rented a space on an animal sanctuary. And what was that experience like for you?
everything has been surreal this first month of us starting this channel, just because I feel like when you have something in your head for such a long time, and it's just like you're fighting inertia always, right? Like the default state is like everything's at rest, no one's making videos together anymore, nothing is real until so far past the point of where you even think it might be real. So like us actually going on the first trip again was very surreal, and being like, oh, we're actually doing this, we're actually recording content. Being on the live action shoot was like, okay, well, Aleks came to LA for this, I guess this is real, I guess this is actually, you know what I mean? So it's just like a for me personally, it was a very, I'm glad that it's happening, but I've thought about it for so long that it's like, huh? It catches me off guard a little bit, I guess.
We also had a guest in it, and you knew him from the boxing stuff. But
The
you just
legend.
yeah, how did you get him to be in it?
Nathan Barnett, aka Dad from Creator Clash. It was pretty easy. I just asked him. I just
Great.
reached out to him. We were in Creator Clash 1 and 2 together. He's definitely an OG of YouTube, to the point where it's like if you go back, he's probably been in so many videos you don't even remember watching back in the day. He's just like everywhere. I think he's great. Just a super nice dude. No,
He was really good as the executioner. It was funny.
Yeah, he is funny, and he's just. I
Yeah,
also
cool guy.
knew like, yeah, and I was like, okay, I'm writing this kind of like dense script. It'd be nice if at least one person has a little more acting experience. Aleks is always very reliable. Definitely worried about me, and me being thinking about other things and getting into my head. And I was like, okay. And there's also just a lot of dense dialogue for the executioner or whatever, and I just wanted somebody good.
Yeah.
And I asked him, and he said yeah, and he's working on his own short film, and so we put some money towards his short film that he's coming out with for the dad short, and yeah, it was great. So he was great to work with. He's awesome.
Aleks, do you actually hate traveling? I guess this also is your answer determines the future of this channel.
Oh, okay. No, I do not hate traveling. It's fun.
It's fun.
I'm a mixed bag. Mostly just like the whole process of traveling I'm not ever stoked about, but getting to places is cool. Once you land, you're like, okay, I'm here, and you can enjoy it. I'm fine with that. For me, it's mostly flight anxiety, but yeah, when I'm there, it's interesting. I like going to Vegas. I like going to LA. LA is cool. Although, like, when I stopped by, I was, like, reminiscing, but then, like, we really didn't do much reminiscing. I almost felt like I was in a different state, to be quite honest with you, because when I landed there, it's not like we went to Hollywood Boulevard and got ourselves like a famous burger or something. We went to Denny's, and
With
then
a bar in it.
with a bar in it, which that was surreal. Then I felt like I stayed in like a hotel from Red Dead Redemption, and afterwards we shot on like a farm in the middle of nowhere. So you know,
And
what
then
I'm
you
saying?
went
Like,
home, yeah.
and I went home. So to me, it wasn't like I was like, did I even go to where was I? Because that didn't. You could have told me that I was in like I don't know, Kansas or Nebraska or something. And I'd be like, yeah, that sounds actually accurate as to where I stayed. So.
To briefly
But,
plot on a map what Aleks is describing, I picked him up at LAX, drove him to the Inglewood closest Denny's, which is the Denny's Sports Lounge, which they were trying to open back in COVID, the manager.
Yeah, the bartender tells the lore about it for some reason. Like, he's like, let me tell you about this, since you're the only two people in here that decided to sit down here.
Yeah, it was empty except for us. But he was like, we just reopened it, and you can go, and there's a whole bar side with like sports TVs and stuff. And then he stayed in Glendale, and then we shot up in Chatsworth.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we were pretty far up there in the
Big
valley.
old triangle.
The problem is also, it's like everything that we used to do in LA is gone. Our favorite bar when you lived here is gone.
Burned down, huh?
No, it didn't burn down.
No?
And some restaurants. I mean, COVID took a lot out of the city, so it's like, okay.
They caught that guy, by the way. I hope you know that.
I know.
Yeah.
He had an AI drawing on his phone of
Yeah, he was like,
the city burning.
show me pictures of burning cities. It's like, what the fuck is this Gotham villain like plotted to burn down like I don't know, Los Angeles?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Anyways.
Also, get rid of that photo on your phone after you do it. Like,
Yeah, just ask ChatGPT, what's the best way to burn down the entire city? How can I watch the city burn?
yeah.
And like visiting the firefighters, you guys putting out that big fire? Yeah, we are. Man, I wonder who lit up this big fire, huh? He must have been really cool. Fuck this guy. I'll probably have more to say about like I guess future stuff because it's so short. It's been a while since I've traveled. I haven't traveled since Christmas to the East Coast and stuff. But I don't
that is a
anywhere
long
near as
time
much. Yeah, I don't do anywhere near as much traveling as we used to do for Couch Hop because we'd go to the East Coast or the West Coast. We'd go to Texas. We kind of used to do all that stuff all the time, and it's been so many years that I've done that. It actually felt in a weird way like a cathartic. Is that the correct word? I didn't go to college very long. I think it was just good to travel. So it's been good to travel, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So it's been nice to get back out there, to get back on the horse and saddle. And maybe that's why Lindsey, maybe that's why we stayed at that Red Dead hotel. Maybe you knew that.
Maybe so. You know what?
this
I
is
think
like-
I picked up on what you were putting out there, Alex.
Yeah, like the second one, right? The second Red Dead specifically. Before the whole, not spoilers, but the whole thing that happened.
Tuberculosis.
I didn't want to spoil tuberculosis for people.
7-year-old game.
Tuberculosis is a thing, though.
It is a thing in the world. Also, the government shutdown right now. Burbank Airport, where I'm flying out of, like people, they just don't have air traffic controllers, and so all the air traffic was being monitored remotely.
Some guy
Nobody
at
there.
home
Yeah, some guy. Yeah,
in his house.
and that was before they were like, oh, this is before air traffic controllers start calling in sick because they're not being paid. This is just like already this bad. So something to look forward to. For the next trip. Yeah.
A good time in the country for traveling. The country. Traveling
Yeah,
the
a
country.
good.
Yeah, I mean, talking about expensive YouTube channels, Brett, what is this episode sponsored by?
Well, I'm so glad
What do
you
we got?
asked. Lindsey, what were you asking me?
I was going to say, I wanted to talk about Vegas a little bit and the 3 different episodes that we put out, what we did there.
No brainer for the medieval theme channel. You gotta stay. Where, Lindsey?
The Excalibur, where I got free rooms.
Yeah, huge. So, Degenerate Gambler 1 and 2. Lindsey goes to Vegas a lot. I would say she's really number 1 probably, right? Already had racked up those points. How did you do it? What's your secret?
Yeah, just years of being a degenerate, yeah. You just, every time you're going to gamble anything, at a table, at a machine, you put your little card in and you earn your points. And then they go, please come back and give us more of your money. And so they give you a free room. And also they'll be like, we'll also pay for $100 worth of your dinner and also give you $50 to gamble with.
Yeah,
So
I've
I
never had that experience. So you sign up for a rewards program with
it's free
one of
rewards
the-
thing. You just, sign up so that way you can, because if you're going to gamble at all, any kind, you better get something for it because you're not going to get money. I'll tell you that.
That is true, and we lived that proof of that, I think, on this trip.
So because we didn't, just to segue off, seems like we don't have a sponsor for this episode. Just to clarify it.
Well, no.
Okay, so
No,
maybe
there's
so
no
was the gambling thing part of like maybe we can fund some stuff if we win some money here.
I thought it'd be nice. Like, it's like the bid is obviously that we're gonna lose the money, but then like while we were there, we're like, okay, but what if?
What if?
What if?
But it was bad. It was actually really bad.
was
Like nothing. I don't
really
think anything.
bad.
I think
No.
actually Lindsey had the best, and that was like off camera. You said Lindsey
on
that.
her own.
Oh, like,
Like,
after
on your
you guys
own?
left, I was like, oh, let me go get my, like I said, they give you the $50, which I should have done earlier in the time that we were there, but it's like, let me go get it. And then I just was sitting there by myself drinking like a white wine. And I was like, great, now I win. It was still only like $110, but $110 would have recouped some of what we lost. But
Yeah, it was way more than, and we weren't even like, everything in the video. Every time money went into a machine, it just would disappear instantly. It was
Yeah, it wasn't even close. It wasn't like a single, not even hope. Not even
Yeah.
like, oh my god, we got $1 back. It was just terrible the entire time. Actually made me
Yeah.
depressed.
It was
I
like
thought it would be kind of funny if we
money
won like
drain.
$200 and then
Yeah.
maybe we go to the bar. No, it's just the entire time was bad.
Money
So-
drain.
I'm like, and what are the odds, right? I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put this on the roulette. Oh, okay, I lost. Okay, but if I do it again, oh, okay, I just lost. Oh, but
What are the
okay, but-
odds? Not good.
Yeah, wow.
Apparently the house wins or something. Like what the
house
fuck?
always wins?
No. Did
Was
you like
the-
the Excalibur, Mr. Room Reviewer?
Is that me or is
Oh.
that Lindsay?
That's you.
Well, yeah, I'm not.
Oh, I'm
Mr.
the room reviewer. I mean, listen.
The air conditioning wasn't-
Yes, yes. I was waiting for Lindsay to
They
say
were
that.
wall
The air-
units, and they were loud, and they would turn on and off automatically, and it'd just be like clunk clunk.
the air conditioner
It was
of
really
despair was
yeah.
not. I would not recommend
despair.
staying there again. Just honestly, the air conditioner minus several points off of those rooms.
What can't be experienced through the video is like walking out of the parking lot where there's a permanent air of just like raw sewage, and then you walk into a castle that smells like if your grandma chain smoked there for like 30 years.
and like cheap
and then
liquor.
I miss
cheap
that.
liquor, and then like the janitors sprayed like Febreze on top of it, but not
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah.
That's kind of Vegas just in general.
Yeah.
I
It is,
flew
yeah.
back in for a trip, and even just the airport, it instantly it was like, oh shit, and then like a thin layer of Febreze.
Yeah.
It was like a good start to like it was like real like a reality check. I think it was a good start to the whole like process and the video, and it's just like it's like you're not staying at some great fancy place. It's like here we are. And it's
Yeah.
like just piss smell and people smoking and it's raining. You're like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
But
Again,
well, the night we got there, we did go have a really nice dinner. We went
That's
to
true.
Best Friend and had some really good
Lindsay,
food.
Lindsay took us on a curated dinner. She said,
was
"You
nice.
Yeah,
guys
that was
should
cool. Dinner was cool.
go." So Vegas, though, you guys normally though at least like the aura of Vegas, right? Like,
Yeah,
it's a
I
place you would
usually
go to.
and I'll go with like my mom, or like I'd gone a couple times with my boyfriend for flag football tournaments, and I just hang out on the strip mostly. But yeah, I don't mind going there. And so when you were like, we're gonna go to Vegas for the first trip, I was like, great, I'm already going the weekend before. So that I kind of went like twice in a row. But you know,
Yeah, that was crazy. Well, and a lot of changes too. So like the whole Vegas thing, right? Was like obviously we're starting this channel. Everything costs $1 million, 1,000, 100 billion, just like credits, V-Bucks. And I was like, okay, well, Vegas is at least close for all of us and like not that expensive to get to. Well, what if we do something really crazy in Vegas to kick it off? And then I was like, hey guys, what if we jumped out of a plane? What if we did skydiving? And that was like the meta for like a week. And then like varying conversations twisting it, and then bartering between the group, and you guys can speak for yourselves here, but then I was like, okay, let's jump off of the stratosphere. Could that still be interesting? And then it's like, in my head, I had built up, I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to jump out of a plane. Now I'm disappointed. Little did I realize the disappointment that would be coming my way.
yeah.
But yeah, and just Vegas isn't a very exciting destination of like, oh my god, I don't know anything about Vegas, but hopefully like seeing us in a familiar place was at least like entertaining, and also I just knew the kind of shit we would probably get into, so
Yeah.
it seemed like it would be fun.
Well,
Question
and
mark?
we wanted to pad that out a little bit too, and so Aleks had found this adrenaline mountain where we
that was
drove
your
in
suggestion.
ATVs, and yes, I did skid a little bit at one point, but I saved it, and we were fine.
I don't know how well you see it in the video, but yeah,
You
there
can
was
kind of see it from your perspective in the front half when we look at it
There's
later.
definitely a
you'll see.
moment of terror where we skid, and then the vehicle kind of did a little tipsy with it, and I was like,
And you
and
can
the guy-
hear
I mean,
me hitting the brakes.
It went
they
how I thought
squeak.
it was gonna go. Honestly,
he's like, these
It
roll
was-
over really easy, so you got to be careful. And that was like our moment of like, okay.
it started to rain out too.
Yeah,
as we discussed, so
Yeah.
I
it got
could
all
not
muddy,
see
but yeah.
shit. I was like constantly going like this, wiping off the water. Where the whole time Aleks was driving, it was not raining. It was fine. Didn't get rained out of that, but there were complications with jumping off of a building for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? There weren't any complications on. Went absolutely.
Today's sponsor.
Today's sponsor.
What do we got?
Heart Attack Grill. When you need about 8,000 calories.
I don't
in
think
Vegas.
you can name off like real brands. I think there's like something about You can't. You know,
It's,
because then
it's
people.
illegal to give free
Yeah, I don't know.
promotion.
Is it? Like I thought that's why they blur stuff. And anyways,
I think it's people normally are like, you got to pay for that. That ain't nobody paying us. Heart Attack Grill though, what a at least from a YouTuber, can we descend on a place and shoot and nobody cares? And not only do they not care, like our
server.
waitress Maria,
She was awesome.
she was awesome and she was totally game and she was like, okay, I'm on camera, cool. Let me just fuck with these people the whole time.
our server who beat the shit out of us was awesome, dude.
Yeah. Well,
It
okay,
was
real
assault.
quick.
You brought us to be assaulted.
The Heart Attack Grill, for anybody who's not familiar, it's just a place with like insane caloric dense foods options. I think if you weigh over 350 pounds, you can get in for free. You eat for free, rather. If you don't finish your meals, you get punished. You put on not a nightgown, a hospital gown when you go in. And it's just very thematic. Now, I had a question for Brett. Did you expect to immediately get so much shit for being a vegetarian? Because I didn't know that she was gonna, that would be the reaction. I thought you'd be like, oh, I'm fine, I'm just not gonna eat any of the meat.
I'd be honest, I didn't even think about it. You think I would have? I was like, what am I going to eat when I go there? Because
Yeah.
I'm trying to make them do this. And this milkshake sounded gross, but it was actually delicious. But it was like pure cream. And then like, I thought it was like vodka whipped cream on top of it. So it would just like give me a stomachache and maybe I would like throw up. But it was like, it was just thick and it tasted good, but it was like drinking cream. And then us getting like Jello shot innervations every
That was
every other,
good,
like,
actually.
5
I
minutes.
liked
Those were good too.
Jello shot.
But no, I didn't even think about the waitress, the server. Is waitress an offensive term nowadays?
I don't know. People call them servers, so I call them
It's
servers.
it's a gendered term. Server. I did not expect hostility. I should have. I really should have.
It was
'cause
funny.
She beat the
It
living
was really
shit
funny.
out of me.
Yeah.
Food
Like,
servant.
Food servant, I think, could be good. That's also gender neutral, so that's good.
When we were going there, where you were like, I'm gonna get spanked. Both of you guys were like, I'm gonna do it.
I didn't even know that's what they. I
Oh.
walked by that place probably several times, and I was like, I just thought it was like a I hate to say it, but like an overweight people restaurant, and where they eat a lot of overweight food. And I was like, cool.
Like country
I guess
buffet?
Everyone has something here at Vegas. So when you brought us there, I was like, am I just gonna have to fucking stuff my fat mouth full of? I didn't realize that it was. No, they will be aggressive with you about the whole process. They will put you in a. And also, they display you in front of everybody because the half of the restaurant
It's been
is like open to the
indoor,
public.
outdoor, yeah.
So you get all these tourists that are like walking up, and they're like, oh, look at this, look at all these freaks inside of this restaurant right here, honey. Film these freaks right here. Because when you're getting spanked, people walk up and they start filming you getting. You're like, what is going on? Like, what am I, a zoo animal?
Yeah, and they walk you to this thing where you gotta like grab on, and then like it's on their Instagram. Like if anyone had been following Heart Attack Grill's
They would have seen
Instagram
that.
story, they would have seen Aleks and me that day.
Which is just weird. That's some because they put out like dozens of spanking like
It's
reels.
probably
so
like
you would have
100
to-
a day or
You would have had to
something.
be following them and a fan of Cow Chop,
And
then
go
you
through.
watch.
Yeah.
And you just randomly on like I don't know what day we flew in, but you
like
just are
Friday.
randomly scrolling. Yeah, Friday. You're scrolling through the weekend, and you're like, oh, let me see what heart attack. Let me see everyone that got spanked on a Heart Attack Grill on a Sunday. Oh my God, it's Alex and Brett.
Alex and Brett.
Oh my God, what do they do? You know,
I
it's like,
screen
they would
recorded it and I put it in the video, so people have now seen this clip. I mean, they've seen it from. I think we have 4 angles of you guys getting spanked. So
I don't know if I'd bring like a dinner date there or something like that,
Oh.
but you know, it is pretty funny. Generally speaking, that place, I could see why it's a tourist attraction. Like I said, I didn't know that's what they did there. It was you had like a Rob Zombie music video playing in the background.
Yeah.
You had to wear that like,
But
you
with
know,
the staff in the
hospital
video.
gown and, yeah, it was just it was very like surreal. So it's cool that we checked it out, but you know, I could have just as well read about it or watched a YouTube video and got the gist. So I guess I'm glad that I didn't know anything beforehand, other than they have a big scale outside and you step on it, you're like, oh, look at that, look how much I weigh. That's all I knew about it was that place was that. I didn't. Yeah, I guess it was funny. I
I
I'm
guess.
surprised you brought us there with like no game plan for yourself though, Brett, because once I looked at the menu, I was like, there's literally 0 vegetarian options. Like, what is this guy gonna do?
Well, his
And you're like,
plan
I'll
was
have a
the milkshake. Yeah. That was
yeah.
his
well,
plan.
Well, he went with the
everything-
milkshake, but they were not happy with your milkshake
She
decision.
was not
Yeah.
appeased. The burgers are fried in lard. The hot dogs fried in lard. So I was like, I'll have a cheeky milkshake. And she's like, die vegetarian. Which,
Just
I mean,
went
okay.
straight to beat the shit out of you and threatened you multiple times. It was scary.
She was
dude.
really fun. She was great. She was great.
more scared there than the jump.
So the jump, though,
Yeah, we sort of
Two-
skipped around here, but
that's okay. That's
well,
good. The big finale.
I just want to say at that dinner that I mentioned the night before, that's when I was like, let me book these tickets. And you guys are chatting, catching up about life, and I'm on my phone booking these tickets, looking for 3 tickets to do this jump. And there were only 2 when we were trying to make it happen. And so I was like, well, I guess I'll just book the 2 and we'll see what kind of bit we can do. And I was going to surprise you guys. And I did. I think I actually did surprise you guys. Because the whole conversation about who was going to do the jump and it was just going to be one, which, obviously turned out that was the case. There was a lot of back and forth, but we could talk about the experience of the jump.
And also,
itself.
like, if that's not like contextual clues to like the mental state and planning capacity of 3 people putting a channel is, hey, should we fly to Vegas? And then when we're in Vegas, should we book the event that we're supposed to film the next day, the biggest event? Okay, let's do it at dinner.
I guess if I'm watching this, Brett, like we could talk about this thing obviously, but like what am I thinking as like what are they trying to do here, right? That would be my impression as like a viewer listening to this is like what so they're going to these places, they're getting beat up by wait staff, staying at cursed hotels, and then also jumping off of buildings with like some late night planning. Like what is that? Which sounds a lot like honestly what we sort of used to do back in the day. Even all 3 of us had very similar, I would say, video shoot days that kind of went like I think this trip went like overall. Like I feel like maybe the point is to bring some of that vibe back, right?
It's like providing avenues for us to like meme on things or just like put ourselves in situations that maybe we wouldn't, while combining that with like a traditional travel channel. Like Lindsey watches a lot of travel content, and so kind of anchoring it a little bit where it's like, okay, maybe this is the foodie episode, but then for us the foodie episode is like going to Heart Attack Grill, and it's like it's a food destination from hell, right? But like, okay, the way that the Stratosphere played out was so on brand for us as people. like Cow Chop Can't Win Losers Club, none of that was orchestrated. That's just literally what our lives are like so many times. So just opportunities for things like that to happen. But Aleks and I have a lot of mirror experiences. I'm a little bit older. I'm the older brother. but we have there is a lot of mirroring, I think, of things. And so an opportunity for us to like, okay, what if there was like a reason to have quality time once a month, generally speaking, right? We go out. There's tons of places for all of us that we've never been across, especially in the U.S., right? Yeah. Where it's like, okay, and we're starting with some known things, but like the next episode, none of us had been to before, and some of the other ones we haven't. So yeah, and then as a viewer, you're like, okay, well, maybe I should go do some of this stuff. Or like, okay, I've seen enough. I don't need to go to Heart Attack Grill. I don't need to go to Boise, Idaho. I got enough of whatever was happening in that video. But I just think it's too much phone time, too much rot time. Is like what's going on with all of us, and it's good to create opportunities to escape it. So
our conversations together about going out and doing the whole travel thing, I talk about this like in my own time, like with streams and stuff, because people bring up like what are things that you miss now that you're not like doing like the big stuff on YouTube anymore, and what do you wish you could be doing? I thought that like you talk about the end days, which was that like final 2019 to 2020 stretch of Cow Chop, where it was just kind of like we're just churning out content and I'm just throwing shit at the wall and we're trying to work together to keep the content load up, because obviously at that point, like James had stepped down and he went to go do his own thing, and we were like, let's make sure that that we're still putting out. You know, we don't want to like slow stuff down because people are still subscribed, they're still watching every day. Like, what can we do? And some of the travel stuff I thought was like really good. When we did like the Grand Canyon trip, and you know, many people have saw Grand Canyon before, probably. Like, I don't think that's anything new. Like, wow, they went to go to the Grand Canyon. I went there with my grandmother back in 2005. But the way we go about it, I thought was really funny and like entertaining in its own way. And so I think much like this trip, it has like a lot of that too, where things are just kind of, they just play out the way that they do for us, I guess, when we pick up the camera and shoot. I think that's entertaining. I thought there's some really good content out there that people probably haven't seen before, like haven't seen that perspective of, you know, like a travel channel. Like, is the travel channel like going to be different? I think in a lot of ways it is from like what people are used to, which is very, I don't know, wholesome, clean vlogs of like, this is my day in like, you know, Miami, and here's what I did at the beach. And it's like, with us, it's here's us going to Vegas, we're getting beat, we're jumping off of some random building, and yeah, it's just I think it's very on brand for the stuff that I guess that we've done before and maybe are looking to do again, and while enjoying, you know, content creation process, because it's been a while since I've done a lot of content myself, and it's been good for me, as you mentioned, like the raw and stuff, to get back out there in front of the camera. People have been asking to for a long time for us to do stuff again. I still, I don't know if it's like that for you, Brad, or for you, Lindsey, but I still get messages about, when are you doing this? When are you doing that? Hey, man, miss you. I'd love to see you do something like this again. And it's just, it's been years. Like, it's been 5 years since we've, I think, collectively sat down and recorded stuff, you know, a video even. Like, the last couch video that's on the channel is the last time that we worked on a project together. So it's surprising to me people still want to see it. So I guess it sounded cool and what you pitched, and hopefully we can reflect that for everyone that's, you know, watching this stuff.
It's tough when you're doing a channel like this, right? You want everything you do to be accessible to everybody, right? Like, in a perfect world, right? You're making content where anyone can watch it, but like, you almost can't remove a certain level of our history from what this channel is supposed to be, right? Like, I don't expect people to not acknowledge Cow Chop, and for me, this channel, a lot of like the fun dynamics that make it fun are that nostalgic bit, but also like the dynamics. Like, I love seeing you two interact. I like our dynamics, but like on each side, like we all have those character dynamics that were part of that channel and just part of our friendships. And so it's like you can't really divorce yourself from it. And I enjoy giving people what they want. Like, people were like, you know, well, I wish Aleks would do content. I wish you guys would do content together. I wish blah, 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 blah. Having Lindsey in the mix, having some people that I know that we would like, I don't want to like overhype it, but like having, if there's an opportunity for other people that we know who are friends to like do stuff with again, like, that's cool. Is this channel maybe a little too weird sometimes? Is it weird to open a travel video with like a live action short that isn't, you know, whatever. It is what it is, and I'm hoping at least it's unique, which I think is maybe the best thing you could strive to be in the oversaturation of media 2025, right? It's like, even if it's a little...
YouTube's weird now too, in general. You know, it's been a few years since we used to do stuff, and even when we were doing stuff, it was kind of like... what's the word, unorthodox in some ways with like what YouTube was becoming at that point. And now it's been years since then, and so for us, it's like also we have to like sort of re-navigate and trudge these like waters again. And yeah, even like I'm uploading stuff, and you said you've been uploading stuff too, Brett, just to like get a feel of what the landscape is, and it's very different too, with even travel content, stuff like that. And what I like is that like the equipment and stuff that Lindsey's been using, to me, is like very cool. I think it's stuff that we never used previously, so it's good that at least we're I think trying to like put out stuff that's like good quality. It seems like, and also like just playing around and experimenting with different like camera equipment and different POVs. We have some, I'm sure people have noticed at this point now the videos are out.
it's all that I think you're probably speaking a lot about the 360 camera. And I remember having a conversation with Brett a couple months ago where he said to me, "Hey, have you seen these like TikToks where the dog's face is in the food bowl and the whole edges is a food bowl and it's a dog face?" I said, "Yes, I love those. Here's more samples." And then we were sending them back and forth, and then we were like, we should put this in our videos. We should have bits. And I brought up the train guy, Francis or whatever. Have you guys seen him?
He wears the GoPro on his head though, right? And gets
and
his
it's like
face,
this
right?
angle. So I just was like, it's so funny, it makes me laugh. Also, I just appreciate his genuine enthusiasm for trains. But, you know, that's the 360, the Insta360 camera. And it's very fun to shoot with. The footage is very fun. It is very complicated to edit. It is a lot of work to edit. So I think I'm going to be a little more intentional about when we're using it. But I think that's only going to be more beneficial in the end.
It is a little weirder and a little more gonzo, and I love ugly ass angles of us eating food or doing or faces. You know, it's just it's part of the fun.
And I wanted to mention, because you know, you said something about you want to give the people like what they want. You really enjoy that, and like I do too. But also, I'm really excited because like we're gonna be making stuff that like we really want to make, and I think that is gonna just show through in what people see. You know, it's about creating these experiences of like new experiences, which makes your brain grow, and fun adventures, and hopefully funny moments. And yeah, I just love traveling. It's so fun.
I was gonna like bring it up later because like I said, we keep derailing every single segue we got. I guess we just have a lot to bring up and at least get out in like the first podcast, right?
Yeah.
But like you mentioned, like in the future, bringing other people on board or working with other people, because I know people are gonna have that question the second that they see us, of like, oh, you know, is Lindsey there in the Denny's shoot, or well, we have like other people that have appeared in the past. I don't know. Do you want to talk about that?
There is a handful of people who enjoyed the experience of working with us, and for those people, I would love to find opportunities to like for them to be able to jump in on stuff. Or if we're one thing for us for sure in future trips is like if we're going somewhere where we can have a local, you know, expert who grew up there or has been there a bunch or whatever, they just tag along and don't know anything about it, and it's just the right place for that person to jump in. I do think that's something we're going to explore, but we have no money. The Patreon and then channel memberships, which hopefully will be active on the channel by the time you're watching this, that determines a lot of it. It determines a lot of whether we're at Waffle Houses in Iowa or if, you know, okay, let's go somewhere, let's go here. So appreciate your support so far and your support until we get...
I was gonna say we have some cool incentives for like the memberships and stuff like that for people that
it's the channel existing. it's
true. No, it is true. It's not a corpo channel this time around. But I guess the point ultimately is like we'll try right to like reach out to people and
I already have a list of people who I know I want to for certain places that we go or whatever. And, you know, because I've also worked with... Markiplier.
Tobuscus.
Mr. Beast. Tobuscus.
Oh, okay. Well, so that's some hot names.
Lindsey. Tobuscus.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I just don't want... Yeah, just don't... I guess, I'm sure people will be excited. Just don't want people reaching out to everybody we ever have shot a video with for the past, decade and ask them if they're going to be on board and to ask them to be in the next, like... little brother like travel video or something like that. Like we'll try our best to try our best to get at people and see where things go. So because I know there's like I said, I still get messages from people that have been viewers for a long time asking about stuff like this. So I guess I just wanted to address that topic in the room.
Just give a little thanks.
The very latest.
Give a little thanks for a world where somehow even just the three of us beat the odds. And
it's true. It did take a lot of logistics to I think set all of this up. Just as is, because we're no longer like in the same state.
None of us are
right?
in the same place.
This podcast is being filmed remote, and like before we at least used to have some I joke about the corpo part, but we did have some bigger names working with us, and a lot more like I guess pull to be able to pull off bigger projects with not as much of what's the word, not danger. I'm not trying to say danger, but not downside.
Like less risk.
Risk, yes. Sorry, it's risk or whatever with you know what we're doing here. So the fact that they're doing this stuff is really, really cool, and I hope we can continue to do it, because I think all of us have awesome ideas, and the point of this even starting, I think, and Brett and I agree, and Lindsey too, obviously, is that we're trying to give the people what they want and stay true to what we want to shoot, and hopefully translates well to all of the videos and stuff that have been coming out, and will hopefully continue to come out.
Yeah.
So,
Hell yeah, brother.
And what are all
want
the
to talk about the
ways-
Stratosphere or what's? Oh, go ahead, Lindsey. Sorry.
I was just gonna say you guys mentioned it, but I just wanted to make sure we reiterated it. If you want to see this stuff and you're enjoying this, obviously the number one way is just watch the videos, like, share, all that bullshit. But also we do have a Patreon.
Unironically though too, like not just guys at the end of the video we just say this thing.
No, it helps.
No, it's like unironically.
We don't know how the YouTube algorithm works anymore, so we're just sort of winging it. So just help us in all those ways that you can. But if you're like,
yes,
hey,
we need the data, man. We need to like and share data too, brother. It's we need to see what the algo does to us before maybe they see that we're back again and they decide to bury us at the bottom of the fucking I don't know, like poop school pile that they have in the bottom of the home feed.
Show us to your open-minded
Discord,
aunt who likes travel content. You say, Auntie, I always see you watching these. Look at these misfits. Look, it's medieval. She's like, oh, I like them. I watch them when I have my white wine. That's Lindsey, actually, but
that is me. I am the aunt watching it, and my nephew's sending me.
I thought that was our grown-up
Nephew,
viewers.
I'm in this video. He's like, oh. Do you want to say where we're going next?
No, wait. We're going to talk about the Stratosphere.
Oh, we are actually talking about that?
This was the Stratosphere segue. What do you mean?
I forgot that we
I set all that up for that, you know?
I just want to say, Aleks and I went up to the top of the tower, and it's like, you have this little waiting room next to the door they pull you into. We were up there bonding, and I was like, wow, we're really having this experience together. And then you
have that picture?
We have that picture.
Picture of us you can put up.
It's in the video, believe me. It's in the
I know, but put it up again so people can see this fine moment that we shared.
This fine moment. And then
beautiful moment.
He went off and did it, and I'm standing there, and I'm like, wow, this is what it's all about. Here we go. I don't like heights. I don't want to do this. Okay, get out on the platform edge. Strap me in. You're like mentally psyching yourself up. You're like, I have to do this now. It's real. They expect you to do it. The people who work there, right? And he's like, are you ready to jump? And I was like, man, no, not really. And he's like, well, it's happening anyway, brother. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna run and jump because this, I've seen other people do it. Well, just like it's the only way it's gonna happen, because they were like, weren't they talking about like some girl who like kind of panicked at the last minute, and like one person had to be pushed. One person like kind of like caught themselves and then fell kind of like awkwardly. I was like, no, I just need to like suicide leap basically. And then it didn't happen. And then the rest of the day I was like twitching because there was no adrenaline dump.
Yeah.
It made that video funny.
Definitely made it interesting.
I don't know how I feel about my trajectory from I'm going to jump out of a plane to launch our channel to I'm not going to jump off of a building twice. You know what? You remember, of course, what Lindsey said was that she said, if this channel's still going a year from now, then we can jump out of the plane. Is that an accurate framing of what you said, Lindsey?
I also said 1 million subscribers. So I was like, stretch that goal.
So when this channel does better than Couch Hop, okay. Well, then I guess I like the 1 year, because even 1 year is almost, we're going to do it. We're going to do it because of viewers like you.
Yeah, you could go watch the video, I suppose, if you want to see the Stratosphere experience. I'm sure that encapsulated basically all of it and all of our thoughts. I screamed my thoughts while falling down the Stratosphere. how I felt. So
that's true.
I think that's all that needs to be said about that.
If you have suggestions for where we should go, if you have complaints about the content, let us know. Stuff you want to see. Stuff you want to see less of. If you think Little Brother should be a 2-person channel where it's just Aleks and Lindsey traveling the countryside, you just tell us. Tell us. And,
Inside of the Tesla, yeah, that could.
Inside
Well,
of the
it'd still be
Tesla.
3 because it'd be me, Aleks, and Grok.
That's right. You're never alone with Grok in the car. Okay, well, thanks for watching us unpack our travel experiences. Again, I think the podcast will be kind of like the post-mortem experience. Where did we go? What did we do? Let's tell some fun stories from the trip. You know, hopefully that will be a thing. Hopefully,
talk about some things, you know.
Yeah, talk about
let's
some
get
things.
let's get real. You know what I mean?
And tell your parents who are who work in marketing and ad sales. Say, how about that Little
tell
Brother
your parents,
podcast?
'cause this is content for them now too. Get the whole family involved.
Get the whole
big
family.
big family channel. This has become family travel channel. Sit down together in the living room, put us up. Maybe not the heart attack girl episode because that one gets a little crazy. But the rest for sure.
Where are we going next? We're going to Portland,
The war
Oregon.
zone.
Oh. Wow, the war zone. Okay, bye.
I hope there's a thing. It's like Portland, it like sparkles or something.